All right, so for this problem, it says, which of the following are properties of a rectangle? And then it gives you a bunch of different options. So something that you have to realize is, okay, here's all my properties that we wrote down for rectangles. First 6 we said are all properties of a parallelogram. Another one is that makes it a little bit more special is that all angles are congruent and 90 degrees. And the last one is that diagonals are congruent. So let's start with just the ones that are down here by rectangles. We said diagonals are congruent. That's one of them. And we said all angles are congruent. So those are the step number 7 and the step number 8 as two properties that are specific to a rectangle. But then you also have to remember that these 1 through 6, in order for you to get down to rectangle, you had to also know that it was a parallelogram. So all of these 6 properties are also going to be true for a rectangle. So we're going to go back and see which ones of these are actually parallelogram properties. First one says exactly one pair of opposite sides is parallel. It doesn't say both pairs of opposite sides is parallel. If it was exactly one pair, you would be looking at a trapezoid, so not that one. All sides congruent, not listed under parallelogram. If you look at your property sheet, it is listed under rhombus, which is not the same thing as a rectangle, so I'm going to cross that one out as well. It says consecutive or adjacent sides are congruent. Notice it says sides are congruent. That means the ones that are next to each other are congruent. That's not true either. Going down to the next one, both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. Look at that one. That one is my second property of a parallelogram. Both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. So this is true also in a rectangle. Last property says diagonals bisect the opposite angles. There's one that says diagonals bisect each other, but not diagonals bisect the opposite angles. If you look back down on your property sheet, this is a property of a rhombus and not necessarily a property of a rectangle. So these 3 end up being your properties that are true for a rectangle.